Welcome to CoinBook. My name is Calvin Waite, and I'm a professional crypto trader. I really like getting feedback from you guys about the market, what you're trading, successes, failures. So I'm going to go ahead and start giving out a t-shirt every week now. What I'll do is I'll look at all comments from Thursday to Thursday, and then Friday select a random winner. So, this morning I wanted to give everyone a little bit more perspective on Bitcoin. When you look at the weekly chart, you'll notice that there is something that has not happened since September 21st. If I zoom in a little bit more, you can see that the last time we had a weekly low that was lower than the prior weekly low was right here, and it touched the 21-week moving average. Very, very interesting there. Anyway, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks in a row where we have not had a lower low. And this week we do for the first time. This is the first sign of any kind of change in the momentum of Bitcoin that we've seen in 10 weeks in a row. So even though, if we go to the daily, this was such a kind of a big event and we dropped really hard, on the weekly chart, it ended up being a fairly bullish candle with this long wick under here. And this bottom was not lower than the prior week's low. So this is probably the most bearish week that we've seen. And this really kind of goes to show how long it takes for Bitcoin to move around. I mean, just charts in general. You don't see these giant moves happen just all at once. So it just takes an insane amount of patience, which is why trading it's kind of an interesting concept. People think that trading is for people who are, living the high life, the fast-paced life. They've got all these cars and gold and everything. But that type of life is for the salesperson who's selling you on investing in their hedge fund or something like that. The people in the background, the people that are actually making trading decisions, especially if they're trading by hand, they are very, very humble people because they have to be extremely patient. They have to be pretty down to earth because every single trade can go wrong. And the ones that are experienced have been burned. It's not this money factory that gets sometimes portrayed on in media or films or things like that. And so you just have to be super, super patient and wait for these things to play out. So people have been kind of asking, well, what if we don't? What if we just go sideways? Or what if we create a flag or whatever? I mean, if you're looking at this chart, there's the only way we could really find a consolidation is if we had a wild swing right in here, something like this. Something to go sideways, but most of that will get us below 15,000. This is the type of view that says, oh yeah, 14,000 is completely reasonable. That's not that far away, And then if you think about the bodies of the candles are down here. This almost 12,000 level, that's a long ways to fall though. And so I don't think we'll see a body this low, but I wouldn't put it past having some kind of a wick down. But honestly, if we can just get a wick down into this area and the bodies don't ever quite get down there, this is exactly what we're looking for. But these charts move very slowly. It takes a ton of patience. And our 21-week moving average is only at 13,000 right now. So we have we could easily get down to there in the next few weeks. These things will take a couple of weeks. We're not gonna just be like, boom, okay, now it's time to fly. This is gonna take a good, I mean, a month or so of downside to kind of get turned around. But so yeah, just try to keep that in perspective and try to be patient, because this is the first week we've actually seen any signs of a downward correction. With trading, there's no really skipping to the front of the line or learning some hidden voodoo secret. You just have to learn by experience. All right, today we're going to go ahead and get a little deeper on the market, the altcoin market situation. What's happening here is we have this this bull flag that we've got going, and yesterday we closed outside of our range for the first time. And today is a red day, but we're hovering on this line. This could be the very, very, very beginnings of a break outside of this, and we might start seeing the beginning of our alt season that we've been kind of hoping for. The thing that I wanted to really kind of crack down and really show you guys is that on the Bitcoin dominance chart, there's a formation that's been happening for a while, but I just kind of noticed it today and thought it might be helpful in kind of figuring out what direction altcoins and Bitcoin is going to head in. So this is the Bitcoin, let's see, Bitcoin dominance chart. And if I take it out and look at the weekly Bitcoin dominance chart, there is a very obvious pattern that is coming into play. So I'm going to delete some of these lines, since this was our turning point where we had our breakout. This definitely hit the target and it's resolved. So I mean, it may come back into play, but it's not going to be super important right now. This was sort of our most important level, and we've been kind of interacting with it. So, but I'm going to go ahead and delete it too. Let's take a look at this. If I take the near top of this rise here and then follow it down on the tops of these weekly candles, you can see what a very clean line we have. This is a very, very, very clean line that is showing resistance, and it's a declining resistance. So this declining resistance on the Bitcoin dominance chart means that Bitcoin is having trouble being dominant over time. So for the past, I guess this all began back in September of last year. So in the past over a year, Bitcoin has kind of bumped up against a level where it's losing dominance. This means that altcoins have the potential of taking more of the market share. And that's an interesting thing to have happen when we have Bitcoin moving as much as it is. Obviously, it gained more dominance in the last bit where we'd gone up quite a bit, but it lost dominance during a period of at the end of our run. Now look at this. On the bottom side of this, it's going to be hard to get it perfect, but take a look at that. Look at this. We have another line that's showing the boundary. Now normally we talk about pennants or wedges or things like that, but what this is a broadening formation. And you can look at Investopedia, and a broadening formation is just a something that's happening in the charts where over time the buyers are getting more aggressive and the sellers are getting more aggressive, and it's pulling, it's widening up the price action in the chart over time. Usually a period of higher volatility, a little bit more unknown. I don't know how much of that applies to Bitcoin, but we certainly have a very, very obvious pattern that has happened here. So if the pattern is widening and it's broadening, then what does that tell you about our potential next move in Bitcoin? This move could potentially be pretty significantly to the downside. So if Bitcoin dominance drops very significantly to the downside, what is that going to do to alts? It's going to explode them. So there's a lot of evidence in the charts that we are looking at a pretty decent alt season coming up at some point. I mean, we may touch this top again. Like, you just never know. A couple weeks more of Bitcoin gaining dominance. But I really think that within a month, we're going to probably see some pretty sweet alt season type of moves. Just this move from this top to this bottom, it was phenomenal. There were so many coins that like doubled, tripled, quadrupled. It was an amazing run. And then alts dropped in half on this move. And then we've been kind of seeing some signs of a change in these alts. That's why we're getting out of the red zone on a lot of coins, or we're just really close to it. So a solid move here, and we could really see some great opportunities in the alt market. Okay, it is time to separate the CoinBook trolls from the CoinBook fans. So these are the magnificent t-shirts that we are giving away every Friday. These are individually packaged with love from your best friends, China. There's also this incredible option designed by yours truly. And we'll be giving away probably one or two of these every Friday to just a random comment on any of the videos over the past week. But, and I don't blame you, if you absolutely cannot live without one of these shirts, I am willing to part with them for $15 worth of your favorite crypto. Just reach out to me on social media and we'll get you guys hooked up.